It was the year 1876, and the sun had just begun its descent behind the ragged peaks of the Sierra Nevada. In a small town named Coyote Gulch, life thrived amidst the dust and dreams of the Wild West. The town itself was a motley collection of wooden shacks, a saloon, a general store, and a one-room schoolhouse. At its heart stood Sheriff Tom Granger, a man of integrity and grit, whose name alone could calm the roughest of crowds. One evening, as the saloon doors swung open, a stranger known only as Red sauntered in. His presence was an anomaly, a silence amid the raucous laughter and clinking of glasses. Red had a reputation that preceded him. Tales of his sharpshooting and unyielding pursuit of justice were whispered around every campfire. Red's eyes, sharp as hawks, scanned the room before landing on Sheriff Tom. With a slow nod, he approached the bar, and the tension in the room was palpable. "Sheriff," Red said, his voice a gravelly whisper, "I hear tell you got a problem needs solving." Sheriff Tom raised an eyebrow. "Depends on who's asking," he replied. Red leaned in, tipping his hat. "Got wind of a gang moving through these parts, the Black Ridge Boys. They're wanted in 4 states for robbery and murder." Sheriff Tom's face hardened. The Black Ridge Boys had been a thorn in his side for months. Raids on local homesteads, stagecoaches ambushed, lives lost. But no one had been able to track them, let alone capture them. Until now. "What's your interest, Red?" Tom asked. Red's eyes flashed with a hint of his own past, something dark and unresolved. "Let's just say I owe him." The sheriff saw a flicker of something in Red's eyes. Pain, perhaps, or maybe vengeance. "Meet me in the morning. We'll ride out at first light," Tom decided. As dawn broke over Coyote Gulch, the two men, bound by a mutual desire for justice, rode north. Their journey led them through treacherous valleys and over rocky ridges until they reached an old mining shaft. It was there, according to Red's informant, the gang holed up between strikes. They dismounted, tying their horses and approaching with caution. Time seemed to stretch as they moved silently, shadows among the rocks. The sound of voices up ahead confirmed their suspicions. Sheriff Tom signaled to Red, and they split up, flanking the entrance. Just as the outlaws emerged, guns drawn, a bullet whizzed past the sheriff's ear, his reflexes saving his life. The ensuing gunfight was as fierce as any the West had seen, echoing with the cacophony of gunfire and shouts. Amidst the chaos, Red's expert marksmanship became evident. One by one, the Black Ridge Boys fell, until only their leader remained. Sheriff Tom cornered him, but as he prepared to handcuff the man, Red approached. "No mercy for the likes of him," Red growled. Tom's grip tightened on the outlaw. "Law says he stands trial," he declared firmly, cuffing the gang leader. Red seemed to consider resisting, but eventually nodded, respect mingling with disappointment. The journey back to Coyote Gulch was somber. They had won the battle, but both men knew the war against lawlessness was far from over. Upon their return, the townsfolk gathered, their eyes filled with hope and relief. Red, ever the loner, tipped his hat to the sheriff before mounting his horse. "Reckon I'll be moving on," he said, his voice softer now. Sheriff Tom extended his hand. "You've got a place here, should you choose it." Red shook his hand firmly. "Appreciate it, Sheriff, but I got more wrongs to right." With that, Red rode off into the horizon, leaving behind a legend that Coyote Gulch would remember for generations. And so, life in the wild frontier continued, dusty, dangerous, but brimming with the weary hope of justice.